the party master on Up and Go, The Bridge, 99 FM.
Good morning, or as DJ Roy would say, morning. Here we are, back with you together again on Up and Go, going all the way until 11 o'clock this morning. Have a great day, Pernell and Ronnie. And we welcome all of you here in Jamaica and around the world to Up and Go. My team is in the building, and so am I, and we are ready to get it started. So, the nominees are now determined for the upcoming Grammy Awards, and Jamaica has been paying a lot of attention to these nominees. This morning you'll hear from all of them, and you'll hear some of the music that they have put out that made them qualify for a spot in the Best Reggae Album category. We'll tell you more about that in a short while from now. Coming up at 8 o'clock this morning, we'll be having our usual feature, which is, of course, Real Estate Today, and Howard Johnson Jr., from our sponsoring company, Howard Johnson Realty Limited, will be our guest in that segment. Join us at 8 o'clock this morning for Real Estate Today. That's going to be right here on the bridge. The topic, holiday rentals and property management. That is what we'll be looking at inside of Real Estate Today at 8. Coming up at 8:30, of course, we've got a lot of money to give you inside of the Secret Sound game. Haven't had a winner yet, and the money continues to climb. We'll tell you more about that, and we hope that we get a winner this morning. We also have a tribute to the Reggae Grammy Nominees, and one of them will join us later on this morning in the Global Connection. We're talking about none other than Etana, who gets her second nomination in this category, and that's with her album Pomoja. Etana will be our guest later on this morning. Brings our time now to 10 minutes on the downside of 7 o'clock. It's time now for headlines across the bridge. Rural Reed gets $23.3 million settlement. The Jamaica College Trust has reported that the settlement for resigned Principal Rural Reed is 23.3 million Jamaican dollars. It says of this amount, the Education Ministry provided 16.1 million. The trust provided the remaining 7.2 million. Reed demitted office as principal of Jamaica College on Saturday. It coincided with the expiration of his special leave. The Board of Jamaica College had recommended a 5-year extension of Reed's special leave to the Ministry of Education, but the request was denied. Reed, who is before the court on corruption charges, had already exhausted 2 years of special leave with full salary and emoluments amounting to more than 11 million Jamaican dollars beginning from November 21, 2019. Prior to the 2 years special leave with full pay and benefits, Rural Reed had exhausted earned vacation leave for the period March 25, 2019 to November 2019. The United States government has reinstated the visa of East Kingston Member of Parliament, the PNP's Philip Paulwell. News coming out of Washington, D.C. says Paulwell was this week issued a 10-year B1, B2 visitor's visa. On November 1, 2019, we learned that Paulwell's U.S. visa had been revoked by the U.S. Embassy. No reason was given for the revocation. The reinstatement of Paulwell's visa is welcome news for the East Kingston MP, whose political career was jolted by the revocation 2 years ago. West Portland Member of Parliament, the JLP's Darrell Vaz's visa was also revoked in 2019. Vaz's visitor's visa was also reinstated earlier this year. Vaz, who also is the country's energy minister, was issued a 10-year diplomatic visa recently. And the head of the JTA yesterday, that's the Jamaica Teachers Association, yesterday rejected the notion that educators are greedy and unreasonable, as he equated the government's 4% wage offer to a show of pity for professionals who deserve to be properly compensated for their hard work. The teachers of Jamaica are painted in the public space as though we are craven, greedy, gluttonous, lazy, and worthless people who are just there to raid the coffers of the country, and that is not true, said the Jamaica Teachers Association JTA President Winston Smith. We need to dispel that rumor because that is not what teachers are about. As a matter of fact, we have been bent to the point that our foreheads are now touching the ground. We are now left to be obliterated because every tissue, every muscle, every nerve, every capillary in our bodies have been stretched to the maximum, Smith said. So far, 25 bargaining units representing public sector workers have accepted the government's 4% increase for a year. That one-year agreement includes a one-off payment of 40,000 Jamaican dollars to workers who are earning $1.5 million and less, as well as an assurance to pay the retroactive amounts dating back to April 1, 2021. Let's go further afield now. Dominica and China have signed a visa-free agreement and welcomes a new Chinese ambassador. Bilateral relations between Dominica and China has produced another historical moment as the government of Dominica signed an agreement on mutual visa exemption between the Commonwealth of Dominica and the government of the People's Republic of China. Meanwhile, Dominica welcomed Ambassador Lin Jiangjiang as the president, as he presented his credentials to President of Dominica, His Excellency Charles Savarin. The waiver was signed on Monday, November 22, 2021, by Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit and the new ambassador of People's Republic of China to the Commonwealth of Dominica, H.E. Lin Jiangjiang. And finally, ships in Chinese waters are disappearing from industry tracking systems, creating yet another headache for the global supply chain. China's growing isolation from the rest of the world, along with a deepening mistrust of foreign influence, may be to blame. Analysts say they started noticing the drop-off in shipping traffic toward the end of October as China prepared to enact legislation governing data privacy. Usually, shipping data companies are able to track ships worldwide because they are fitted with an automatic identification system, or AIS, transceiver. This system allows ships to send information such as position, speed, course, and name to stations that are based along coastlines using high-frequency radio. If a ship is out of range of those stations, the information can be exchanged via satellite. But that is not happening at this time in the world's second-largest economy, and that is something that they want to be keeping an eye on. Brings us to the end of our headlines across the bridge, and our time to 15 minutes on the downside of 7 o'clock. Right about now, it's 27 and a half minutes on the downside of 7 o'clock, and it's time for WTF. If you don't know what that means, what the fact? Oh boy, there's a company that turns dead bodies into an ocean reef. Looks like we've got a morbid story coming up this morning. Let's find out. For those who romanticize a burial at sea, the company Eternal Reefs offers an innovative solution. What are they coming with? It mixes a person's cremated remains with concrete to create a pearl onto which loved ones can etch personal messages and handprints or environmentally friendly mementos. Now, the pearl is then encased in a reef ball, that's what they call it, that is now then dropped into the sea, where it provides a new habitat for fish and other sea life. Whose table are those going to end up on? And they say this helps to encourage a vibrant ecosystem. The circle of life at work, I guess. Man, oh man. You guys eat swim around too? I never knew I'd be reading a story like this on the radio. What the fact? My goodness. Join us again tomorrow morning at around about 7:25. We'll have another interesting, not necessarily morbid story for you in What the Fact. WTF. It's 29 and a half past 7 o'clock. We're on a break. We'll be right back. Now it's time for the proverb of the day. Let's give a listen.
Any dirty water, cool hot iron.
Short, to the point. Let me hear it again.
Any dirty water, cool hot iron.
Okay, that is today's proverb. You heard it? Any dirty water, cool hot iron.
Interesting.
Interesting, though.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Phone lines are lighting up already. Every morning we have listeners who are willing to give it a shot. Let's find out what this listener has to say on that proverb. Any dirty water, cool hot iron. Not hot, but hot. Hot iron. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. How you doing?
Morning.
Good morning and welcome. How are you today?
I'm fine.
Wonderful. Nice hearing from you. My name is Richie B. What is your name?
This is Naomi from Toronto, Canada.
Naomi? What's up, Naomi?
Yes, it's Naomi.
How are you? This is quite a surprise.
I know. It's a surprise. I got wake up to this phone call.
OMG.
Yeah.
Listen, man. It's good to hear you, Naomi. How's the family? How's everybody doing?
Everybody's all right so far.
I understand that Toronto is getting kind of cold right now. Is that true?
I know. It is. But yesterday it was quite all right. This morning, no, it's not so bad. But yeah.
I bet when you talk about not so bad and quite all right, you're talking about some 20s or 30s.
In there we get a little Indian summer, you know what I mean?
Well, for you, what's all right for you, it's not all right for me, Naomi, because I can't manage them temperatures, trust me. But
I know. You gotta come into it one day, though. Trust me.
I have been there. I have the famous story. I have a famous story, Naomi, where the promoter paid my way, booked my hotel, and I was supposed to do an event on the Saturday night in Toronto years ago. And when I got there and the cold hit me, I called the promoter and I said, "Sir, I'm prepared to give you a refund, but I'm not going to that show."
Oh, wow.
Anyhow, he helped me to get some warm clothing and so on, and I made it out to the show, and it was quite a success. Anyhow, this morning, Naomi, as we have you on the line, we want to find out what you think is the correct interpretation of our proverb, which says, any dirty water, cool hot iron. First of all, the translation is, any dirty water will cool a hot iron. What do you think is the meaning of that proverb? Can you handle it?
All right, I'm going to try.
Any dirty water, cool hot iron.
Any dirty water, cool
hot iron. Yeah, she's repeating it. What do you think that means? Any dirty water, cool hot iron. Yes, let me hear your explanation, your meaning.
To be honest, this one's puzzling me right now, but it's very big puzzle, but I think maybe I'll probably think about, I don't know if I'm really interested with something special with somebody or not.
Well, let me tell you, let me help you on this one. The meaning is, not everyone who says they're your friend is a friend. Any dirty water, cool hot iron. That is what it means, Naomi.
That's for sure.
For sure. Good to hear from you. Have a great day today. Thank you, and take good care. Good to hear from you, all right?
All right.
Much love,
Bye.
much love. Bye, Naomi. All the way from Toronto, Canada, man. We got the connections out there, and they're listening. Toronto, Canada, the GTA, Greater Toronto area. Just a while ago, I looked at my phone, and I'm getting messages out of the United Kingdom. I have several business places that are locked into us right now, and I'll be shouting out some of them in a short while from now. So it's a good look. Of course, we are definitely big into the Jamaican diaspora, all across the United States, all across Canada, in the United Kingdom, and many other areas. And it's a good look for us. By the way, I can make an announcement that as of next Monday, I should have told Naomi this. Yeah, as of next Monday morning, in addition to our global connection into the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, my bosses have advised that negotiations have now been concluded, and starting next Monday, what date is that? Is that the 29th or something? 29th? Next Monday morning, we will also be live into Toronto, Canada. There's a radio station, G98.7. I can tell you who the hosts will be. And you're going to be invited to a Zoom meeting yourself. Yeah, you? Me? Yes, you. So that I have the permission to mention that next Monday morning. So we're going to be covering the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and we'll be I don't want to put it. We'll be penetrating the GTA, the Greater Toronto area. Okay, is that all right? Yeah, everybody says that. I'm getting thumbs up for that. So we're good to go. And it's now time for a sponsored segment, which is aired at this time every Wednesday morning. We call it Real Estate Today, and it is sponsored by Howard Johnson Realty Limited. And we thank them as usual for being here with us as one of our sponsors. And, we're looking this morning at holiday rentals and property management. Before I introduce my guest, though, as the holiday season approaches, people are eager to return to the life they knew before the COVID-19 pandemic, to be surrounded by family and friends and fun. Vaccine programs are thriving and borders are reopening, and with this, holiday rentals are just one way to enjoy travel again without the high price tag. Here to discuss holiday rentals and property management, we have none other than the big man himself, Howard Johnson Jr., the CEO at Howard Johnson Realty Limited and HJ Property Management Limited. Good morning, Howard. How are you doing?
Boy, morning, Richie. Boy, you said a big man feels fat. Oh, God. But tell us, I'm doing all right, though.
Take it as a compliment, though. Take it as a compliment.
Every time. But, Richie, before going to the show, I have to say, DJ Andy is a vibe. Me a pre from morning, the man I shot this morning. It's like he's on a whole different mission. So big up yourself, DJ.
You hear that? The man said, big up yourself because you think shot this morning. Big up. All right, Audley, big up yourself. Now, Howie, it's an interesting topic that we're looking at, holiday rentals and property management. Now, you are a realtor, but you're also a property manager. So I have to ask you, what experience do you have with holiday rentals?
Well, from a real estate perspective as a realtor, we have to find accommodation for persons who are coming in for the holiday period. And, if we want to make it a little easier to understand, and instead of using the holiday rental terminology, it may be more understandable if we use the short-term rentals or a short stay during the holiday period, because that's what it is. And we have a lot of persons who come to the island and would look to get into a space that is not necessarily the commercialized hotel. Not that there's anything wrong, but they tend to find these little nooks and crannies around the island that gives them this authentic experience. Mm-hmm. So as realtors, during this time of the year, we are pressured to find accommodation. Some people have to give up they're mindful to give up their homes, and some people do block this time for that sort of traction where they'll be able to satisfy the demands on it. So we do have experience in finding these accommodations for these short-term rentals, but from a property management standpoint, we have to deal with now the influx of traffic into some of the properties or the communities that we manage, because the logistics of persons, new faces coming in, integrating with existing families, it poses some sort of exposure, some risk, and we have to mitigate that as well as property managers. So on both sides of the coin, it keeps us busy during the holidays.
Yeah, so the person listening right now who is the owner of a property that could be used as a rental property, what are some of the concerns that they might have, though, as we get into this busy season?
Well, it's how to screen the right occupant or the right tenant, because you're going to get a lot of calls from persons all over the world wanting to come into your space. But because this is your home, this is your property, how do you select the right person for this period of time? And just to put that into perspective, many times you have this nightmare. You may rent to this one individual that says, I'm coming in and spend a few days to come and look for friends and family. But the looking for friends and family takes place at your house. So the friends and family come to that house, and you have about 8-10 people in this property, and they're there for the period of the rental. So, you can't foresee some of those things, and you have to have professionals and as well as a certain level of intuition to understand the demographic of the person who is coming and making the inquiry of you, to make sure that they're going to be be taking care of the property, and there's not going to be an abuse of your property or any inconvenience caused. So that is something that is in collaboration with your professionals, but you do have to have that level of intuition as well, and you may require asking for more information that you would normally ask on the certain other dimensions of the property management spectrum.
Yeah. What would you say, Howard, are the crucial benefits that of having property management for the holiday rentals?
Good governance. It helps you to know that you have someone to ensure compliance with the bylaws of different communities that your property may be a part of. It allows you to have that peace of mind to know that you have a responsive group of persons or an individual that will cater to the needs of your short-term occupant while they're in your unit without you, the owner, having to leave Christmas dinner to go and look at a leak or to fix a bulb. You have the property managers that will be there. So these are just a few of the benefits that I know having management for your holiday rentals will help to give the rental owners that level of comfort and peace of mind during the holidays.
So as it relates to our local market here, would you say that holiday rentals are preferred to for travelers this season?
It wasn't always the case, Richie B, to be honest with you, but we have been seeing an uptick in that dimension of rentals, especially because of the COVID environment. So rather than going into a property that is heavily populated with other individuals, persons want to be isolated. So a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom villa or an apartment where they can control their space, they don't have to be, sanitizing all the time. Not that you should not do that even if you're on your own, but the risk is less when you're now isolated from a communal type of environment. And therefore, even some of the gated communities that we have, people are shying away from that. So they're looking towards villas. And I know the tourism industry is looking towards building out more villas because people want to be isolated and have their own amenities for themselves. And again, it's because of the impact of the COVID pandemic that we have been experiencing over the last almost 2 years.
Yeah. So again, looking at someone who has a property owner, maybe a first-time property owner looking to invest in holiday rentals, what advice would you share to them with them this morning?
Well, if you're looking to invest in the holiday rentals, it will be best to choose your property based on your expectations. Now, if it is that you're looking for rentals outside of the holiday period, then you may want to buy an apartment in a gated community where in the off seasons or non-holiday period, you can still get occupancy. Sometimes the locations may be near to attractions or beach where persons are always wanting to go. So even if you have a local person going away for the weekend or taking a holiday on the coast, your unit will still be relevant. If you're looking to invest in something that you'll get a high yield and you may be quoting, $3,000, $5,000 US per week, then it comes with the household personnel, and you can walk to the beach, but it is a standalone. Then you need to look to see whether or not the rewards for that level of investment will be worth it. So it all comes down to the preferences of the investor who's looking to go into holiday rentals. But you have to also, most importantly, consider the periods outside of holidays to ensure that your property is still relevant so that you can, optimize on the returns of your investment property.
Very, very important advice. Now we're going to move on to an important tip that I think you have on your agenda. Let's hear the tip of the day.
Yes, sir. When deciding how to manage your holiday rentals, be honest with yourself about your time and your abilities. But you can always think of hiring an experienced property manager to do the management for you.
Do like I do.
Yeah, yes, sir.
What's your number?
I'll share that shortly.
All right.
Yes,
let us move on now, Howard, to what we call going.
But not
yet
yet
gone.
gone.
All right. Over to you again.
All right, well, we have this stylish built, unfurnished 1-bedroom, 1.5 bathroom apartment in the condominiums of Jumblair. It's covering 860 square feet. The well-designed kitchen with a peninsula bar flows easily into the open-plan dining room and living room, and it's looking out onto the balcony. It has a discreet in-unit laundry, walk-through closet, and modern ensuite bathroom. The bedroom is air conditioned and has a ceiling fan as well. And the apartment is set in a beautiful landscape ground with swimming pool, gym, 24-hour security, you name it. And we're asking just 100,000 Jamaican dollars for this property. And we're asking you to contact Sharon Warwick, not Sharon, but Sharon. That's Sherron. She can be reached at 876-408-1254. That's Sharon Warwick. You can send her an email at SHERRON@hjrealtors.com. 1 bedroom, 1.5 bathroom, 100,000 per month.
Sounds good. Drumblier. All right.
Yes, sir.
Good luck with that, Sharon. Is Sharon new to the company? I don't recall seeing her name before.
She's one of our newest addition to the team, and this is one of her first listings, and I'm sure she will be quite pleased that it was disposed by a listener of the Bridge.
I'm sure. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Sharon asked you to call me later on to say that one is gone.
There you go. No longer going, but
right,
gone.
But gone. Thank you. Good luck, Sharon. Sharon, it's spelled SHERRON, by the way. All right, well, Howie, that's all the time we have this morning. Just for you to leave us with your contact information.
Okay, we can be visited at unit number 15, Ligony Post Mall. That's 115 Hope Road, Kingston 6. Our telephone numbers 876-620-1457. You can visit our website at hjrealtors.com. You can also visit www.hjmanage.co to deal with property management matters, or you can use the handles for our social media at Realtors, at HJ Realtors, or at HJ Manage, at HJ Realtors, or at HJ Manage on social media.
All the deets that you need. Thank you so very much. Great having you this morning again. Just before you go, when you were about to do the Going But Not Yet Gone, I was wondering if you were going to offer a place in Charlemont, which is very much in the news, but it's not Charlemont, it's Drumblier, right?
This one is spelled with a D, yes, Drumblier.
Drumblier.
We're not going into the Charlemont area just yet, but I know what you're coming with, and we may have a show dedicated to that very soon.
We might have to be looking at density issues in the corporate area, man.
That is correct.
Thank you. Have a good day, Howie.
You too, Richie B. Have a good one.
Thank you. That was Real Estate Today. You've been watching that story? Yeah.
Big time.
Serious issues of density and what is approved, what is allowable, and what is built, which are not necessarily one and the same. And I think I missed out on who the owners of those properties are, but I think it's available, so it's not too difficult to find out. But it's interesting.
Very.
Suffice it to say, interesting.
That's my area.
Yeah. Are you the developer? You're not the developer in question.
I'm not going to disclose that.
Okay. Don't disclose. All right. They have more parts to that series. Our friends at the television station TVJ are saying. So we watch it and see what's going on. 14 now past the hour of 8 o'clock. Right now it's time for the Secret Sound Game. 876-676-4996. Telephone number to call right now if you can identify this sound that we have for you. Identify that sound and you can win $99 US and 11 times $99 Jamaican in our dual currency giveaway. Let's go to the telephone lines and see if we can find a winner. Good morning, you're on the air. Hello.
Good morning, bossy.
Good morning, sir. This sounds like Mr. Have No Fear.
Yeah, man.
Going after the money this morning, and we have no problems with that. Dennis, what is your answer to the question? You've heard the clues, you've heard the sound. What is your answer this morning, sir?
The skunk.
You said it's the skunk?
Yes, bossy.
The skunk?
Yes, bossy.
You said it's the skunk? Listen to
we lose our job.
Listen to the sound once again. You've tried many times before. Listen to the clues again, Dennis. The creature has dark under the eyes. You still saying the skunk?
Yes, bossy. Me not change. We lose our job.
The creature has a medium-sized fluffy tail. What is your answer?
Skunk bossy.
Man, not change. Let me give you another clue. This animal is not found in Jamaica.
Well, me not change like that, bossy. We lose our job.
I don't know the answer. I'm looking at my producer now. What's that indication, DJ Audley? It looks like something is happening here. Dennis, Mr. Have No Fear.
Yes, bossy.
She's giving me a thumbs up. You are a winner! Congratulations, sir! Congratulations, Dennis.
Yes,
You've just won for yourself $99 US and 11 times $99 Jamaican. You are a winner. Yo, this let me tell you something. I never even knew what the answer was. When we started a while ago, I'm looking at the producer. She was doing something else, and I'm here waiting to see what the indication is. And then I saw the thumbs up. You're a winner. Congratulations, man. And Jody will tell you how you can collect your prize, all right?
Have no fear, bossy.
Have no fear. He has tried many times before, like so many others, but today's his lucky day. The skunk. You never know how the sound the skunk make.
Why? Honestly, because we didn't have the
We didn't have the answer.
Yeah.
So every morning I'm looking at the producer and I'm saying, I'm not asking her.
Right.
And she's there nodding or shaking her head, and this morning it's a different signal.
I figure it was along those lines. You know, one of them little animals.
One of them little animals.
Like a raccoon or, But I'm like, yo, I'm playing the sound.
Yeah.
And I'm also listening, and I'm like, yo, what the song?
It is the skunk. All right, the brethren nailed it this morning. All right, 24 now before the hour of 9 o'clock, and having had a winner, we say congratulations. Right about now, we like to take a look really at the 2022 Grammy Awards nominees in the Best Reggae Album category. And in case you missed it, we have, of course, the likes of Spice in there with the album 10. Soja, not a Jamaican group, is in there with the album entitled Beauty in the Silence. There is Jesse Royal with the album Royal. Live and Livin' by Sean Paul also makes the cut. Gramps Morgan is a nominee with Positive Vibration. And Etana has an entry and a nomination with her album Pamoja. You know that we've got a very special guest right now.
I was told.
She wakes up this morning as one of 6 in the running for Best Reggae Album, with her second nomination for the album Pamoja. We're proud to welcome to the Global Connection, live in Jamaica, live across the tri-state area, one of the most beautiful souls in the world of reggae. Good morning, Etana.
Good morning. How are you, Richie B?
I am doing well. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And we have with us Killer Boo on Irie Jam Radio, New York City, as part of the connection.
Good morning, Etana. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So,
thanks for having me on.
Etana, you've been there before. How are you feeling this time around?
Well, to be honest, yesterday I was at a loss for words for a long time. I couldn't get my thoughts together. I didn't know what to say. My heart was beating fast because this is my fourth independent project, fourth project as an independent artist.
Yes.
And I didn't expect it at all. Like this one, really threw me. And my team, they're just laughing at me because they're asking why wouldn't I expect it, But I put the work out there, and I expected the fans to give their feedback, and it was wicked. And I didn't feel like my work was done, but I just didn't expect to be nominated. And so I was Excited, very excited, overwhelmed, overjoyed.
Yeah.
And then I eventually calmed down.
I saw the post that you put out. You weren't crying like Spice was, for instance, but you took the time to thank a lot of people. Is it any more special because of the fact that you helmed this project yourself?
It is. All right. So I've been with VP Records for 10 years. I was signed with them for 4 albums, and none of my albums were nominated during that time. And sometimes they weren't even submitted, And now the only thing that I made sure that I did is I made sure that I continue to put out quality work regardless, because I know it will reflect on me, the work that I put out, And I intended to keep that attitude and work ethic going even after coming out of that agreement, and to see that people in music, other creators, because they're the only ones that can vote, other creators, talented people, believe that the work that I continue to do was still worth their votes, was worth their votes, even a second time around. That's incredible. That's incredible. And to know that, each time that I sent a song back to get it remixed or remastered, and everybody was looking at me like I'm crazy and saying, yo, but the song mixed and it sound good and this sound good. And I'm like, no, that's not what I want to hear, And even the mastering guy said, yo, I've mastered a lot of albums, but working with you is sometimes a challenge, but I'm up for it, And when he sent the album back and I said, yo, this is it. And him say, you sure? And I say, yeah, man, this is it. And we had this long conversation before, and he was telling me how proud he was of me and how far that I came, how far I've come. And so, yeah, it means a whole lot that it was done by me and my team, a whole lot.
Your stocks are definitely rising, and we're proud of you. You managed to get a number of key collaborators on this album, namely Vibes Cartel, Nandy, Stoneboy, Alberosi, with whom you have worked before, Patrice, Damian Junigong, Marley, and more. Take us through the process of selecting these big names to collaborate with you. How difficult or how easy was it to pull together?
Well, after creating the songs, I listened to them over and over, and not just me, my team, and they came up with ideas as to who would be great for the songs. And, I agreed with some, disagreed with some, but we worked it out and reached out to these people, and they responded in such a timely manner. Some of them really, really quick. Like, I didn't expect for it to come so fast, because working with artists, as you know, could be difficult for many reasons. They travel, they're touring sometimes when you're not touring and you're recording, our schedules is all mixed up. And to see the music come back as fast as it did, I was very appreciative of it. And the respect, the love that we all had on this project, all the artists, it was incredible, and they know that I give the same respect and love back.
Fantastic. Killer Boo is joining us now. Killer, you want to ask Etana a question, I'm sure.
Definitely. Now, Etana, you were able to narrow down this album to what, 14 tracks plus an intro and outro?
Yes.
And 2 of my favorite tracks, let me just tell you, the one with Vibes Cartel and Not For Sale, simply because it's one of those songs with the message, that's in that song about women, appreciating their natural self. That's one of the songs that I love. But the title track, which is Pamoja, what is the meaning behind that name?
Pamoja means together. It means together in Swahili. And I figured in the pandemic, since the beginning of 2020, they were talking about people, families separating due to divorce, and the impact it had on relationships, and especially Black families.
Right.
And I figured that I can create a project that could inspire people and encourage people to keep relationships together, keep families together, because in hard times, things do get rough and it tears people down in different levels and in different ways, And I wanted to make an album that would not only keep people happy and dancing, but also keeping families together, reminding them to stay in love and stick together and work together. And on a broader scale, for us all to unite, work together and look out for each other. That was the message of Pamoja, which is why I also collaborated with all the artists too as well. It's the first time that I've ever put out a project with so many collaborations, and that was done intentionally.
On the subject of collaborations, the song Fly with Fiji, that is an absolutely awesome track. And that is a big collaboration, Etana. We know that.
Yeah. Working with Fiji, I remember the first time I saw Fiji perform. He was in Australia, New Zealand, sorry. And when Fiji got on stage, the crowd, just like the dispersed crowd that was like all over the place getting food or whatever they were doing.
Yes.
The crowd just went like, shh, and came together like in 2 seconds. And they were singing all the songs. And then Fiji hit this wicked note that just went across the whole venue of thousands of people. And I was like, yo, he is crazy. And I walked up to him and I was like, hey, Fiji, he was so super cool and down to earth. And I was like, I have to work with him one day. It took me years to finally get to it, but I think it was the right timing, you know?
Yeah. We're almost out of time. Etana, you're not going to just rest on your laurels now of being a nominee. Are you going to campaign? What is the plan of action going forward?
You know, we still haven't gotten that down packet. I'm still working on that.
Yes.
And I'm sure that I'm going to do my best to campaign to let everybody know, first and foremost, that I'm grateful that they thought my project was worthy of their vote. You know, for creatives to listen to your work and think your work is wicked and worthy, that's crazy. That's in itself like massive, you know. And so I'm grateful for that, and that and then I'm gonna keep working, you know, working as hard as I can in whichever way that I can to either win or continue getting the love and support that I need to create and warm the hearts of people all over the world.
What you say to the other nominees this morning?
Congratulations.
Yes.
Congratulations to all the nominees. For you to be nominated in the first place, like I said, for your peers and for other creatives to think that your project is good enough to be nominated, or for even for them to vote. A vote, you only get like what, 5 votes, and it was 120 albums.
Yeah.
You know, think about that. That's a lot.
Absolutely.
That's massive.
Yes.
5 votes, and somebody thought of my project or your project to be one of their votes. That's crazy.
If it's any
amazing.
If it's any consolation, we threw it out this morning. We played 2 songs from all of the nominees in the category, and when we were done, we asked for listeners to send us their take and their preference, and several actually are telling you to start practicing your speech.
I was going to ask her, Richie,
you know what? I hope if I have to make a speech, I hope I get it together faster than I did yesterday when I was asked how do I feel.
My next question, Etana, was when are we going to see you on this side other than the Grammys?
I did a tour and I didn't stop in New York for a show. Right. And then the last time that I was in New York, I was in upstate New York. So hopefully soon. I'll be able to be there this time around, because I am planning another tour, which I think everybody will see soon, shortly.
Right.
And it's in a bigger way and in a different way. Some of these events will be my own production. And I think it would be really cool. It's going to be on another level, and I think people will appreciate it.
Wonderful. Congratulations again, Etana. Proud of you, and good luck going forward. Great talking with you this morning. Take good care of yourself.
Take care,
Thank you, Richie B. And one more time, you've been there from the beginning, from the start. People, let me tell you this. I got to tell you this. Richie B was one of those people recognizing my music from the very beginning, from the very first album.
Yeah. And
I must say to you, thank you for all the support that you gave me from them time till now. You are like amazing, a great part of my journey, a massive part. You take out a big chunk. Thank you.
You're welcome, Etana. Much love, my love. Much love. Appreciate you and appreciate all that you do. Take care. Give my regards to Andre and the fam, all right?
All right, take care.
Take care. All the best. That was a chat with Etana. Wow. Heartwarming words at the end there to Killaboo.
Yes.
And I think we're on a break. We'll come right back with much more. Stay tuned. Now, at 3 minutes after 9 o'clock, there are a number of groups that have come together, and they want to bring awareness to the plight of Jamaica's women and children in their call for the elimination of violence, and they want to reduce the statistic of 1 in 4 to zero cases of gender-based violence in Jamaica by 2030. And so the concept of Thursday in Black campaign to end gender-based violence has been conceived, and it's an initiative of Professor Opal Palmer Adisa, former University Director of the Institute for Gender and Development Studies, Regional Coordinating Office, in collaboration with the Jamaica Council of Churches, the Nurses Association of Jamaica, and the Jamaica Psychiatric Association, as well as some affiliates. We have with us this morning Professor Opal Palmer Adisa as our guest. Good morning, Prof.
Good morning, and thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us here. Always a pleasure to talk with you. Prof, what can you tell us about the Thursday in Black campaign to end gender-based violence?
Okay, so this is such a major problem in our society that it will take all of us working together, and which is why I have reached out to these various organizations and will continue to reach out to these organizations. So we did the first one in May, and we're doing this one because tomorrow, Thursday, is the official International Day to End Violence Against Women, which started in 1996 in the Dominican Republic as a result of three female advocates being murdered there. So it's an international celebration that started in the Caribbean that has spread all over the world. And in Jamaica, especially given the recent killing of Shihara, the 16-year-old girl from Alpha this weekend by her uncle, we really need to look at what's happening in our society. And one group and one person cannot do it. We really have to come together. So we're inviting motorists to, blow their horns and flash their lights, and we're saying for people to come out orderly, wearing your mask, adhering to all of the COVID protocol in terms of maintaining social distance, but come out to say we stand up against violence in our society and specifically gender-based violence.
So you have a march that's planned then for this Thursday, tomorrow?
Yes, we have a campaign that's planned that will be in Kingston. It will be in Mandela Park.
Yes.
But there are pockets of people throughout the island that various of the organizations have organized, and they will be, at different places, at churches, in front of churches, some of them in terms of in front of community centers, and they'll be wearing black.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, this is obviously going to happen, and I'm sure that it will be well supported. But how do you plan to reduce gender-based violence to zero cases by 2030? How do you want to achieve that?
It's a very ambitious project, but one of the first things we have to look at is what is it in our culture that is supporting it. So gender-based violence is part of the larger violence in the society, and we really have to look at that. We have to look at why men are killing men and why men are killing women. So that's number one. And number two is just to bring an awareness of how it impacts us negatively in terms of development. In a sense, because of the amount of crime we've had over the last 15, 20, 30 years, really, we've become a kind of anesthetized to violence. We kind of take it as normal. We have our burglar bars. We have our, alarm system, all of these things. And we need to acknowledge that the way we're living is not healthy for any of us, that we are in a crisis according to the UN, United Nations. Based on the number of murders Jamaica has a year, we're in a war zone. And the officials need to understand that and how that is impacting all of us psychologically and emotionally. So it is one, bringing awareness. That's the first thing. Educating people that they need help. Also educating about the imbalance in our society, the inequity, the both economic and social inequity. And, it's that kind of work that needs to be done. It's not going to be solved necessarily by 2030, but we're working towards that by identifying certain things that might help. One of the other big things that I hope the Ministry of Education will introduce is conflict resolution from preschool, because we're a querulous people, and we've had to be querulous because our survival from the colonial legacy demanded that. And now we've turned that on ourselves. And so we have to unlearn certain cultural things that have been normalized to say this is no longer working for us. How do we move forward? How do we begin to love ourselves and to love each other and to understand that talking, discussing is the way to go, not killing? So, these are just some strategies that we're looking at and how to employ them across the island, across all the levels, how to address victims and perpetrators.
Yes.
We can't just look at the victims. The perpetrators are also in pain and need help. And so I'm very much an advocate of looking and addressing both, that both need counseling, both need support, so that the cycle doesn't repeat.
And so if you think that if we should really take this seriously, and all of the partners that you have on board, as well as others that you're targeting, come on board, you think we could in fact then eliminate gender-based violence by 2030 as the plan is?
I think we can, and if not, we can reduce it tremendously, because this collective, collaborative effort across board, regardless of discipline or religion or politics, we're working to end violence in our society because we know it is harmful for all of us and that it thwarts our development.
Who do you want to participate? Who are you expecting will participate? And give us some more details now in terms of the march that you have planned for tomorrow. Where it start and where will it end and so on. Give us some more details on that.
Okay. So tomorrow we're asking people to assemble at Mandela Park in Halfway Tree. And we have various groups that are going to be bringing out their constituencies, as well as they're going to be standing. The Jamaica Council of Churches will be there, but they will also have people standing in front of various churches. The Jamaican Psychiatric Association will be there. The Nurses Association will be there. The Advocates Network, the PMP Women's Movement, Sweetwater Foundation. All of them will be there with their various constituencies. If not in Halfway Tree, some people will be assembled downtown. We have written to the commissioner for approval. We always write and seek approval for these marches. And then, as I said, in various other parishes, East Central Kingston and other places, people will be there. All will be wearing black. And if you don't have black, that's okay. We have T-shirts we have designed and are being distributed. And people will be wearing their masks. They will be having placards that says Thursday in Black End Gender-Based Violence and Red Alert, because we also know that what's happening to our children is a serious indicator of how we have descended, and we need to really get back on track. So we invite you to come on out tomorrow if you're in the Kingston, St. Andrew area at Mandela Park or downtown at Parade. And we also invite you at other places in the island to come on out. Please wear your mask. This is a peaceful demonstration. And, hold up your placards. As a driver, blink your horn, blow your horn, or flash your lights in support to end gender-based violence.
Okay. And what time do you get started?
We go from 9 to noon.
All right.
9 o'clock in the morning until noon.
And when you march out of Mandela, where are you going to be headed?
We're really just going to be heading towards the bus stop, the bus terminal, and end there. And then people will disperse and go to their separate places.
All right. And all protocols, you're encouraging that all protocols be observed. Have you gotten
all protocols must be observed. It's really important. We do not, gender-based violence is terrible, but so is COVID, and we do not at all want to in any way add to that. We have been very mindful and very respectful in the past, and we intend to maintain that.
Wonderful, Prof. And you have already received your approvals in terms of permission from the authorities, I suspect.
Yes. In fact, I'm going to call on that this morning to make sure that we have that. Yeah, okay. But that was sent last week. Yeah.
All right. Well, I suspect you'll have a lot of support because this matter is a serious matter, and it's affecting the nation in a big way. There are some issues. There are some incidents recently. The young lady, I think her name is Picard, who was killed by her granduncle, which is very much in the news, and so many others. Too many, if you ask me. And so we applaud the efforts, and we encourage everyone to support this tomorrow morning in what is billed as Thursday in Black campaign to end gender-based violence. Thank you for talking to us this morning, Professor, and all the best to you and your team.
Thank you so much. And thanks, Jamaica, for coming out and saying enough. We are not going to have any more.
Absolutely. Enough is enough. 13 and a half minutes after the hour of 9 o'clock. A chat there with Dr. I think it's more Professor Opal Palmer Adisa, former director, University of the West Indies Institute for Gender and Development Studies and Regional Coordinating Unit. Great talking with her.
Richie B, the party master, on Up and Go, The Bridge, 99 FM.